Coded by Marsupilami. I like how oftentimes, especially at this time, like, you know, people's handles were often just, you know, the name of a popular cartoon character or something. Oh. Yeah, Illegal was one of the big ones that I saw a lot of times. Illegal, Nocturnal, The Empire. Oh! I forgot about that. This, what? That's a little suspect. Of the quality of the humor, but... Okay. Oh. No trainer. Valid codes entry allowed? Why did it say that so briefly? US Gold present. US Gold. Oh, this is actually NTSC. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. Especially not from US Gold. Which, you know, paradoxically, the British company. So yeah, some games had both 60 and 50 hertz modes. A lot of European games had only 50 hertz modes. And the reason why, like, the Atari ST could do both, like it only had one chip. It wasn't like the Amiga, where early Amigas could only do one or the other. They just made it a dual region chip. But your operating system comes in a ROM on the motherboard, and it could either default to 60 or 50 hertz depending on which ROM you had. So a game could follow that. It could check your default and use it. And I think a lot of games did that. So they would just run at 60 or 50 hertz depending on what operating system that they detected. And the reason that was good is because if you didn't have a monitor, like the Atari branded monitors were multi-sync and they could run in both modes, but if you were connecting your ST to a TV, or rather your STF, that's what the F, sometimes you see STF. F means it's got a frequency modulation on it. Or RF output. So you could plug it into your TV. And in that realm, Atari ST plugged into your TV, you really need your game to support the local frame rate, right? This is more impressive than the Windows. There was a DOS version, which is like a port of this version, with ad-lib music, and it's pretty good. It loaded the copy protection screen? Maybe. Yeah, it's kind of odd. But this, I consider this the best version of Chip's Challenge. Like the Lynx version had this same kind of soundtrack and these same kind of graphics, but this kind of gives you a better view, and the music sounds better than on the Lynx, but it's the same compositions. And then the DOS version has EGA graphics, so the colors are a little off. And it has versions of these tunes, but they're ad-lib, and they're pretty good. But this I consider the best version. And then the Amiga tried to like replicate this soundtrack with samples, and it sounds almost as good. Melinda the Mental Marvel is sitting down next to Chip. Nerdy Chip McCallahan. McCallahan, is that Dirty Harry's last name. If you finish the challenge, you can join our computer club, the Bitbusters. He's been a distant admirer of Melinda for a long time. Chip crunches his bag of pretzels and cups. I'll do it! Please enter the code of the starting level. I love this font. This is a very nice font. It's just Callahan. So... collect chips to get past the chip socket. Use keys to open doors. Yeah. And then... I don't think it tells you, but there's something special about the green key in that it's a reusable key. All other keys are one use, but the green key lasts as many times as you'll use it. I wonder if it says it in one of the question marks? But it's sort of inherent in passing the first level because there's only one green key, but there's like 2 of every other key. Push blocks into water to make dirt, watch out for monsters. So, anyway, like this soundtrack, I always like really loved it. It is one of my favorite ST soundtracks. And I liked this game, how if you, water shield, yeah. And then you get the ice boots, and you get the fire shield, and then the magnet lets you walk on this. I like how this game, if you're having trouble with the level, it'll eventually just let you bypass it. The Windows version had much more limited animations, and you didn't move smoothly between tiles like this. And yeah, and this version has its own music that was composed for the game, as opposed to the Windows one, which just played some MIDIs that happened to come with the game pack that it belonged to, but were totally unrelated to the game. And then it had those funny sound effects that say like bummer when you die or something. But yeah, like the Windows version was so much more popular. Like this was a fairly popular game, I think, but the Windows version was just like popular on a different scale than the original version. I did play the NES prototype. It didn't have sound, as I recall, but it was somewhat functional. I didn't play a lot of it. And it was funny, like... somebody from Epix was on the NES Dev forums, and they said, like, hey, we own a bunch of these properties, and we're looking to make, like, new NES games with them. Please get in touch if you want to do that. And I got in touch with him and said, oh yeah, this one, I think there's a hint about there can be extra chips, yeah. Because you can't get into that. There's invisible walls. So I contacted them and said, hey, I really love Chips Challenge. I would love to finish the prototype. Here's what I think it should cost. And they got back to me and they said, oh, we think we could get someone to do that for much lower costs. I was like, okay. Forget it then. And I never heard back from them. And, yeah. Clearly they didn't get somebody to do that for a lower cost. Yes. Oh, man. I love these teeth. They're so, like... I don't know. There's something creepy about them. You didn't know that companies did what to... If Ski Free hadn't stolen the spotlight. Ski Free is very good. Somebody made a Ski Free clone for NES a few years ago. What do they go as? Bunny Boy or Retro USB is on one of the Xmas NES cartridges. You can probably download the ROM for free. I think most of the ROMs for those were freely released. Oh man, some of the later levels. So I had never played Sokoban when I got this, but like this basically has some levels that are versions of Sokoban. You still get Ski Free from the original. Oh yeah, that's true. Hi there, Mondo Mole. How's it going? That's how you get your dino embryos stolen? Ski Free is truly and finally free, isn't it? Oh yeah, I always liked these ice ones. You had to like make sure to go the right direction. And once you start going, you have to continue in that direction. It takes a little while before this game starts to get like truly cruel, but eventually it does. But there aren't lives, like it doesn't make you start over, it gives you codes. And you could like just take as long as you wanted to figure things out, but... And it would let you skip levels. If you just had a lot of trouble on a level, you could do that. And I think that's basically how I played through the game initially, like... there were a bunch of levels that I just couldn't do. And it let me bypass them slowly. That was nice of it. So I think we want to wait for the bugs to kind of clear the area before I grab it. Dungeons of Dreadmore. Oh, I remember that one. I still think of like the Lutefisk thing saying "Skull." Oh no! Yeah, so there are infinite retries in this, and you can just play until you figure it out. But yeah, like there were some levels. It's not that there were a lot of Sokoban levels, but there was one that was like a really long one, and like one false move, and you gotta restart, and you could have been working on it for I don't know how long. I mean, every level has a timer, but the timer's often like... well, this is like a 6-minute timer. I think the time could sometimes be 999. I think some levels might actually have infinite time. It's your favorite modern roguelike? I played it for a while. I never, like, beat it, I guess, but I did play it quite a bit and had a good time with it. And it had kind of a good sense of humor, and the mechanics of it were fun. Stuff they're calling roguelike isn't. I think Dungeons of Dreadmore should qualify as roguelike, from what I recall. I mean, I can't think of a way that in which it isn't. But maybe you're referring to other things that are not quite roguelike. Ah! I thought that was clear. Okay, I'll give this level one more try, and then maybe I'll pick one more game, and that'll be it for the stream. There was a meme in the Hard Drive News Facebook group. It's interesting, like, there's a lot of, like, conversations going on Facebook. I guess there's Discords and there's Facebook groups. And they kind of have different demographics. Like, the demo I played earlier in the stream had a Facebook group. Okay. So we wait for them to walk away. I've had so much trouble with the second one, though. No. Ooh, okay. I don't think I deserve to live with that one, but I will take it. Oh. Okay, this is where it actually becomes serious. I think this is where I learned the principles of Sokoban. Is there a chip under this? Or a trap? It was a chip. Wasn't sure. Oh. Setting up for the stream. My Atari ST was working fine. Like, most of the hardware was working fine, and then I plugged in my capture device into my computer, and it said, like, USB device not recognized. I think I had to reinstall the drivers, not for, like, not for my capture device, but for my USB 3 card. Took me a bit of time to figure out, and... Oh, this one was weird. Okay, so pressing this button releases this. This is like a grabber trap. When the button's not down, it always grabs, so if you just try and walk into it now, it'll grab you and you'll be stuck there forever. But if you put this box on it, it is now in the open position constantly. What killed me? I had time. What just killed me? Anyway, this demonstrates what's a very nice feature of this game. I like this tune. I like all the tunes in this game. This level is interesting that it has like kind of slowdown to it. I guess animating all the fire is tough. Uh-oh. I took a wrong turn. I'm probably doomed now. I made it. Yowzer, first try. The first level of the challenge ship is ready to go. This isn't so hard, he thinks. Trinity. See, find the way to a key. Oh, did I go the wrong way? Or can I go around this way? There we go. So you get the first one. Has each of them gotten through the maze? Or can I unlock the second one through the fire? This probably just leads to a chip. Okay, they're all independent. Spicy pilot wings. Pilot wings likes? They're spicy because they have combat? Imagine pilot wings with combat. How do I get to the bottom there? Go down this way? Huh. Oh, I should get more chicken wings. Especially with my Carolina Reaper peppers are about to... I'm about to have a lot of them. The first two came ripe like a few days ago, but it's it took like 2 or 3 weeks after that before more started to form, but they're almost ready now. Like in a week or 2 weeks, I'll have a ton of incredibly spicy peppers that I'm gonna have to start finding homes for, because I'm not gonna eat them all. Oh, this one's fun. So you kind of want to get inside. There's just so many chips. You don't actually need to collect all the chips. So, if I recall this level. So you just want to leave a wall so that they don't get you. I always found it fun just to collect so many chips. But the problem is there's a gap at the top that I used to get out in the first place, so I gotta make sure that I don't lead them out through that hole. Raspberries and peas. Or pea shoots? Like, do you eat like the shoots of the plant? Rather than like the peas themselves? Okay, so how do I keep them from escaping? Giving me reef. As long as I don't go further left than that, I should be okay. What else could I do? Okay, so there's some interior ones there. And the thing is, like, you can outrun them, so it's not, Okay, so seems I have to let them out. But if I'm quick... Oh, no. They're now in the grid with me. Kinda. But I only need 50 more. I like a lot of these levels where it's like... You don't need to do it perfectly to succeed. But you do need to do it well for an amount of time. See, like, there's a bunch of leeway. You don't need all the chips, but... I like how it does that a lot. You grow them to a certain size and harvest them. Yeah, there's been a lot of, like, growing methods that I didn't know about for a long time. Recently, like, I was reading about, somebody told me about coppicing, where, like, you basically cut a tree down to the stump, but then, like, a bunch of shoots will grow out of it, and people do that to get little branches, or, like, if they want a thing to grow in a bunch of branches, especially if you want to use them to make things, like for whittling or whatever. You could grow a lot of straight branches that way, but it also can just be a nice way to shape the tree if that's what you're after. Having like a bunch of small branches grow from the the stump. Oh, South Pole. Yeah, this one was quite interesting. What was the name of this level? Oh, the name of this level, I believe, is the hint. So you just always go south. Otherwise, it can take a while to figure that one out. There's like a harder version of that eventually. Teleblock. So, does each of these have a... Oh, I thought maybe they'd have chips underneath of them. My plan was to play one more game, wasn't it? Oh! Did I go the wrong way? I think I went the wrong way. Oh! I needed these blocks. I needed these blocks for here. This is an interesting one. So it's not the teleporter that's the teleblock. I need to teleport blocks. Teleblock.